It can be hard to get started gardening, especially if you don't know where to start. There are a lot of different things to consider when starting a garden, from what type of soil you need to which vegetables will grow best in your climate. I've put together a list of tips to help you get started on your homestead garden so you can provide your family with fresh, healthy produce while also saving money. Hi, I'm Bonnie, and I help moms grow their own food so they can provide for their families without the stress and anxiety of relying on the grocery store. Before we get started, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel so I can continue to help you live your more self-sufficient life. If you're looking for ways to provide your family with fresh, healthy produce while also saving money, then starting a homestead garden may be the perfect solution. There are many benefits to starting a homestead garden. Some of these benefits include providing fresh, healthy produce for your family, saving money on groceries, and reducing your carbon footprint, and learning new gardening skills. A homestead garden is a type of garden that is designed to provide food for a family or community. Homestead gardens are usually large and may include a variety of fruits, vegetables, and herbs. There's no set answer to how big a homestead garden should be. It will depend on factors such as the amount of space you have available, the number of people in your family, and how much produce you want to grow. Take it slow when you start your first garden. There's no need to rush into things. Start small and build up over time. Soon you'll have a thriving garden that you can enjoy for years to come. It can be tough to stay on top of all of the weeding, watering, and general maintenance that a big garden requires. All that space can be tough to maintain and keeping up with. But a small garden is more manageable. Plus, you can really get to know your plants and learn how to make them productive. You'll be less likely to make mistakes and more likely to have success. There are many different layouts that you can use for your garden. It will depend on the amount of space you have available and what type of plants you want to grow. Some common garden layouts include row gardens, square foot gardens, raised bed gardens, container gardens. Really, the most important factor to determine is how much sun your vegetable plants will need, and lay them out based upon the sun and water requirements. You can plant tall trellised plants to the west of more tender plants and provide shade and protection from intense afternoon sun. One of the most important things to consider when starting a garden is what type of plants will do well in your climate and soil. Different plants have different needs, so it's important to do your research before you start planting. Some vegetables, like tomatoes, need a lot of sun and rich soil to produce fruit, while others, like lettuce, can handle partial shade and poorer soil. Here in Florida, the vegetables that we can plant depend largely upon the time of year. We can grow year-round, but certain considerations need to be taken into account. Most vegetables cannot handle our hot, wet summers, so we have to choose varieties that are not prone to fungal diseases. Tropical varieties tend to do best in our summers, but we can also freeze in the winter. So while we can grow tomatoes in January, we have to be prepared to protect them from cold weather. Some of the easiest vegetables to grow in a garden include lettuce, radishes, spinach, carrots, and beets. These vegetables are relatively low maintenance and can be grown in a variety of soil types. They're also some of the fastest growing vegetables and can be harvested in the shortest amount of time. They do prefer cooler temperatures, so it's best to grow them in the spring and the fall. Some of my favorite vegetables to grow on the homestead include tomatoes, potatoes, beans, peppers, eggplants, and cucumbers. I also think it's important to plant perennial fruit trees that you can harvest from year after year. They'll require the least amount of maintenance over time and will be your most reliable producers. Water and fertilizer are two of the most important things you can give your plants. Without enough water, your plants will wilt and die. And without enough fertilizer, they won't be able to grow or produce fruit and vegetables. Make sure to water your plants regularly, especially during the hot weather. The best way to water your garden will depend on the type of plants you are growing and the amount of space that you have available. If you are growing a large garden, you may want to consider installing an irrigation system. This will allow you to water your plants more efficiently and reduce the amount of time you spend watering them. Plus, you can put them on an automatic timer and never have to worry about forgetting to water again. In general, it's best to water your plants in the morning so the leaves have time to dry out before nightfall. This will help to prevent diseases such as powdery mildew. If you're watering by hand, be sure to water the base of the plant rather than the leaves to avoid leaf scorch. And fertilize them every few weeks to help them grow strong and healthy. You can use an organic fertilizer like compost or manure, or you can use a commercial organic fertilizer like AgriThrive. Just make sure you follow the instructions on the label so that you don't damage your plants. Even organic fertilizers can burn your plants. Harvest your produce regularly to encourage growth. Once your plants start producing fruits or vegetables, it's important to harvest them regularly. If you let them stay on the plant for too long, the plant will begin to put more energy into seed ripening and less energy into leaf and fruit production. So make sure to pick them when they're ripe and ready to eat. You can also encourage continuous growth by harvesting some of the fruits or vegetables at least once per week. This will encourage the plant to produce more fruits or vegetables. One of the biggest challenges of gardening is dealing with pests and diseases, but there are a few things you can do to keep your plants healthy and pest-free. First, make sure to choose the right plants for your garden. Some plants are more susceptible to pests and diseases than others. Choose plants that have been bred for resistance to diseases that are common in your area. Also, pay attention to the timing of when planting certain vegetables and the prevalence of certain pests during various times of the year. Heat can stress cold weather vegetables such as broccoli and make them more prone to attacks from pests such as aphids. Second, practice preventative care. This means keeping your garden clean and free of debris. It also means watering and fertilizing properly. Healthy plants are less prone to attacks from insects and are able to recover better. They can also prevent pests by planting herbs and flowers that are known to repel certain insects. Third, be on the lookout for signs of disease. If you catch them early, you can take steps to treat them before they cause serious damage to your plants. Signs include insect eggs, damaged leaves, and punctured fruit. Starting a garden can be a great way to provide your family with fresh, healthy produce while also saving money. By following these tips, you can create a successful garden that will provide you with plenty of fruits and vegetables all season long. Thank you for joining me today. I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel and join me for our next video. In it, I'll be discussing steps you can take to start your own homestead. So if you're interested in learning about growing your own food and having a more self-sufficient life, be sure to tune in.